Hi, I'm Trisha Perkins from Yarnatopia in Oklahoma City.
Tricia, thanks for joining us today. Our first question for you is, what was the drive to open your yarn shop? When did the idea first come about, and what did that process look like for you?
The drive was, excuse me, I was retiring from my other job, from the job I was at, and I knew that I couldn't sit at home and do nothing. My husband had died several years before that, and I knew I couldn't sit at home by myself and do nothing. So I started looking for friends who would be interested in opening the shop with me. And so that was the drive. We opened on October 1st, 6 years ago. It'll be 6 years ago tomorrow, actually. So that was the drive.
All right, awesome. So question number two, since your store has been open, what have you found to be the greatest joy? And then what have you found to be the biggest challenge?
The biggest joy is the people. We'd been open less than a year when my daughter passed away, and our customers surrounded me with so much love and care. And you don't know who your friends are until you go through a crisis like that. You've probably heard of food trains for people when you have a death in your family. They had a Trisha train. And I didn't even realize they were doing it at first. I was never alone in the shop for the first 6 months. There was always somebody here. I'd show up to open the store, and there'd be people waiting. And I thought, well, gosh, that's cool, And then later I realized what they were doing. There would be a couple of people here with me, and they'd leave, and so other people would show up, and it was just so neat that they were here to take care of me. And it's been that way ever since. My business partner last year had brain surgery, and she was out for 5 months. And there were people here again. They were here to take care of me, and they'd help me with, they'd help me restock, and they'd help me put yarn out, and they'd help me with different things. And later is when I realized, well, they were here because Mary wasn't here. And it's just, the people are incredible. And I know that Oklahoma City is like a little big town, if you will. South Oklahoma City is a town of its own, and we're in the south part of the city. And it's the same way now that, they're here to take care of me. I have people that they change their days to come in and shop because Mary doesn't work on Friday. So they change from Monday to Friday. So they'd be here with me because I wouldn't be by myself. We have great customers.
Question number three. So obviously we see all the yarn in the background. What goes through your mind when you're deciding on what yarns are best to bring into your store?
Well, we have different customers that like different things. And like when you put the offbeat out, the yarn offbeat out this year, I thought, oh, well, these customers will like that. And sure enough, the very customers I knew would buy it are the ones that buy it. And, we have customers that can't afford real expensive yarn, and I knew that they would buy that yarn. And when you came out with the deluxe tweed, I knew right away we'd sell deluxe tweed. And sure enough, and then when you came out with the new colors, they flocked to the new colors. And we just know in our heart, occasionally I'm wrong, we'll end up having to put it on sale to get rid of it, but not very often. Usually, we know exactly what they'll buy. So we just shop with those customers in mind when we shop.
Yep, that one does really well as well for us. So we're glad your customers like that.
Yeah.
So going along with yarns at your store and everything, what seems to be the most popular fiber content and weight at your store?
Fingering weight. They like the fingering weight. Because they can make so many different things out of fingering weight. You can make socks, or you can make shawls, or you can make sweaters. They really like the fingering weight.
So do they seem to like bamboo pop sock there?
Yep, they do. We sell a ton of that, and they make so many different things out of it. They can make baby clothes, or they can make socks, or they can make tops. Oklahoma's hot. We had one of the hottest summers in history in Oklahoma this year. So we sold a ton of fingering weight yarn.
Well, that's great to hear. I know the bamboo pop stalks, for me, they're just fun to look at. They look so pretty, like on the outside. So
And we were very pleased that you came out with solid colors in it because they can do so much more with the solids. You know, not everybody wants prints. So that was,
absolutely.
yeah, our customers were in heaven when you brought that out.
And then I know you talked a little bit about it, shawls and socks. What seems to be the most popular project that people will bring back to the store to show off?
Oh, well, we encourage them to bring their projects back in because we have a rug right in front of our checkout stand. And so we make them stand on the corner of the rug so we can see all the yarn behind them when we take their picture. And some of them are kind of shy about it. They'll hold it up so high that you can't see their face. But we really want them to wrap up in it and let us take a picture of it or wear their sweater or whatever. But we had one of our customers, it was the very first thing she'd ever made, and she made a shawl out of bamboo pop out, and it's so pretty. And we, of course, we took a picture, and I'm sure y'all saw it when. So she didn't even bring it in. She made her grandma bring it in. she was too embarrassed to bring it in, so her grandma held it up. And so we have 3 generations of knitters in that family, and they always bring their finished projects, but the little girl's in college and she also works at Walmart, so she couldn't get in during our hours. So grandma brought it in and showed it to us. But
Mm.
yeah, so that we have the corner of fame is what we call it. Stand on the corner of fame so we can take your picture. So yeah, they bring it all in.
Well, that's amazing. Generations of people that just love yarn and will come in, and I like the process there of taking pictures of finished projects. It's really sweet that you
Right.
guys do that as well.
Yeah. Now one of them is one of the granddaughters has had a baby, so now we'll have 4 generations.
Oh yeah.
And you had to get that baby knitting as soon as she's old enough. They just crack up.
So you mentioned a few of our yarns. So what seems to be the most popular universal yarn or Rico design yarn at your store?
It's got to be bamboo pop. We have a display and we have a little dress. It's called the Rio dress, and I bet you there's no telling how many of those we've sold. And it takes. We have a little ball of yarn that we keep at the register that was what I had left over when I made the sample, and I keep it because people don't believe me that it just takes one ball to make that dress. And so I keep it by the register so I can show them, see, this is how much I had left over. And so that dress, we've probably sold 50 of that, for that one little dress. That's probably our most popular.
Well, I bet people in Oklahoma City love bamboo pop, considering, like you said, the weather's pretty hot there. So
Yeah,
it's a pretty nice yarn for
for the
the
weather.
hotter days. So thinking back to when you opened your store, what advice would you go and give yourself about what you could have done better or what you would have liked to know about the industry?
Well, we didn't know about Universal Yarn for probably the first year we were in business. I'd have to look back to be sure, but I know we didn't have it at the beginning because we didn't have a rep in the beginning. It was a while before Laura Glinsky called on us. So, um, or Laura Glomsky, I said it wrong, sorry. But when we brought it in, um, it made a huge difference. So we wish we'd known about you guys from the beginning. And we were open a year before we doubled our space. So we probably wouldn't have brought it in to begin with anyway, because we were jam packed in here like sardines. So once we doubled our space, our sales tripled. It really made a huge difference. So that if we would have been too afraid to come in with that much space in the beginning. But if you build it, they will come. We learned that real quick like.
Next question for you. What is your favorite part about working with Universal Yarn?
You guys treat us like were gold. You always are so friendly, and we love that you do drop shipping. And you let us, if we have a back order going out, you let us add to that if we need something. We love that. And you are always friendly. And you let one of our customers was making the sweater that it's steeked for one thing, and our customer was scared to death of that. But she made the sweater and she didn't understand the pattern, and you guys helped her with it. That was great. And we didn't know, I'd never made that sweater. So we just called and let the designer talk to her, and it was wonderful. And that sweater turned out amazing. Let me tell you, she did an incredible job on that sweater. So it was the one that it comes in all the different colors. And it was amazing. Her sweater, she looked great in it. And she was so pleased with it. And when I told her she had to cut it down the middle, I thought she was going to faint. She said, "You don't mean that." I said, "I do mean that." And so she talked to your designer and she talked her through it, and she was so pleased with it, and it could not look better. And she uses your yarn a lot, and she is never afraid of your yarn because she knows you guys will stand behind it. And so we can't say enough good about it. When she said, "They're not going to talk to me," I said, "Yeah, they will. They will." And she stood right here at my counter and talked to your designer. She was so impressed.
Well, thank you for that. I think the sweater you're talking about, excuse me, is the all color sweater.
Yes.
Does that sound right?
Yes. Yes.
All right, next question for you. What does your day today look like? I know you mentioned today you have a lot of people coming in at 10 o'clock. So what does your typical day to day look like?
Well, Wednesdays and Thursdays, we have this one group of ladies. They come in every Wednesday and every Friday, and they come in and knit. They go to lunch together, and they come back, and they stay until about an hour before we close. And other people will come in and shop, and they'll go, "Oh, you have knit day on this day?" "Yeah, we do." And everybody says they're going to come back and join them, but they don't. It's just this one group. There's like between 4 and 6 of them will come in, and they're just like old friends, and some live on the north side of town, some live in Norman, Oklahoma, which is far south side of town. And they come and they have a great time. And if I have time, I'll sit and knit with them, but I won't have time today because I'm getting ready for our anniversary celebration. But they just love our store, and they love us. And we're the only yarn store in Oklahoma City now. There's an independent dyer in Edmond, which is far north, but it's not the same thing. They only have expensive yarn. We have a variety of prices, but they only have her indie dyed yarn. So we're the hangout. And so they come and they love us. So they come twice a week. So that's just an average day on Friday for them to come. And they offer to bring me lunch. Sometimes I let them, sometimes I don't. Today I won't have time to eat, so I don't do that. But that's just average day. And then some Fridays are really busy and some Fridays aren't. So I don't know about what kind of traffic we'll get. They know our sales coming up this next month, so they won't come. Probably.
Going along with that, what type of special events are in your town of Oklahoma City for the knitting community? And are there any upcoming events at your store?
During the month of October, the Yarn Adventure Truck will be here the third Saturday this month. And she buys yarns from various people throughout the year, and she drives her truck all over the place. You just went away. Did you know that? She will be here the third Saturday. She has a different place every weekend throughout the year. And so she'll be here I think it's the 22nd, if that's a Saturday, I don't know, but she's wonderful. She donates something to our door prize for the time she's here. And she's awesome. She'll be out in our parking lot that Saturday. And we'll have a different theme each weekend. So this first weekend, all our notions will be on sale. And then next weekend, all our yarn bowls will be on sale. The third week, all of our yarns will be on sale. And the last weekend, I forget, something else is going to be on sale. I don't remember. But each weekend, and I'll be sending emails out each week telling the customers what will be on sale. And then as far as our city, They're having a big festival in Scissortail Park, which is a fairly new, huge park down in the middle of the city. It's part of our MAPS project. They're building something new all the time. So that's a big deal for the city. They built a big river in the middle of Oklahoma City. It used to be a flat. We used to be famous for having the biggest river in the United States that had to be mowed because we don't have enough rain to keep it full of water. But now they fixed it. That's full of water all the time. So now they have big events down there. But anyway, that's going on this in a couple of weeks.
Awesome. Glad to hear about all those outreach events for the community. That's really special. It sounds like you guys have a close knit community. No pun intended there.
Okay. Right.
Or maybe,
Yeah.
But that's amazing to hear. That's all the questions we got for you, but feel free to expand on anything that you talked about throughout the interview. Love hearing about all the yarns from Universal that your customers love. What seems, I guess I'll just go off script here. What seems to be like a favorite yarn when it gets a little bit cooler there, if it does? I don't know if it gets cool.
It is that we do have winter. A couple of winters ago, it got to 15 below zero. That was in fact, that's the day Mary had her brain surgery. It was bad because it was, I don't remember it ever being that cold here, ever. And I've lived in Oklahoma City since I was 5. So I've been around for a while. But yeah, that was a very strange winter. It wasn't icy or anything. It was just really, really cold. But we survived it. Nothing froze at my house. I couldn't believe it. A lot of people had really bad frozen pipes, but we did not.
Wow.
The deluxe tweed, do not ever take that away from us.
Yeah, when I first walked in to Universal Yarn to start, I would say Bella Chenille was my favorite one. I was like, this is so puffy and squishy. It's amazing. It's so soft as well.
Grandparents will bring their grade school age kids in here, and they always want a blanket out of baby chenille or the chenille yarn. And then we also sell a lot of dishcloth yarn. It's our most popular for dishcloths. We don't sell the cotton supreme so much. In fact, we're closing it out because we need the space for other stuff. It just hasn't sold well here, so we're closing it out. But we do like the dishcloth yarn, but I told you last time we need more colors.
Clean cotton?
In the clean cotton. Yeah, especially the multi, they really like the multi. If you're washing dishes, you want some excitement, so they like the multis.
We do want to say congratulations on your anniversary, though, coming up tomorrow.
Thank you.
That's amazing to see that your store has been around for so long and survived the pandemic as well. So congratulations on that.